So guys, in today's course play video, we're going to be talking about setting up unload courses as well as refill courses, and we're also going to set up a simple transport loop between the farm and the store. So what I've got going on here is I've got a course place driver set up to unload hay from the forage wagon here into the hayloft. And he's getting that hay up there from field 9. So what I want to do is kind of just ride along with him. And we'll show you how this all is working. Let's run on over here, see if we can hitch a ride with this guy. All right. Actually, let me pull up the dots and I'll show you the course that I've laid out. Basically, I've laid out a course here that starts up at field 9, drives him down here through some back roads to the hayloft, and then loops him back up to field 9. I've tried to set it up just so that basically if we had two tractors carting hay, hopefully they would not run into each other. So I've tried to stay on the proper sides of the roads here and everything. And the way we do this is we combine two courses together. And we kind of did that, if you remember, in the other episode. But we're going to go over it in a little bit more detail today. But while he's driving up there, I want to show you how to set up another course. Let's come down here to our pickup truck. So I'm going to set up what I call the farm to shop loop. So this is a course I tried to set up early. And actually this was going to be part of my very first episode on the course play. But it didn't work right for me. And basically I think it was broken until a recent update. I am running courseplay version 6.01.00020 dev, the dev version, of course. So if you're running a different version, I suggest go download a new version. By the time you watch this, there will probably be another new version. It's always important to just make sure you get the latest up-to-date version at this point because it is under constant development. What we're going to do is we're going to record a simple course with our pickup truck. We're going to drive all the way up to the shop. I'm going to set a waypoint, and then we're going to drive back to the farm and in the course. And where this loop is going to come in handy is if we want to, let's say we want to sell something. We can basically set whatever we want to sell off on on this course, and then it will drive up to the shop and wait at the waypoint. We then can basically take the tractor over to the sell point and either sell it or sell the implement. If we are buying something, we can send something up here to the shop to basically pick it up, and then pick it up and bring it down to the farm. And it doesn't matter if we're going super fast around here, but basically the course will either try to repeat the speed as best as possible or do the best max speed that the implement can do, assuming that speed is slower than what this was originally recorded at. So we're going to go ahead and just come up to here, set a waypoint, okay, and then we're going to just drive back to the farm. Be careful not to run into something. That is the most, I'd say that is the most tedious part of courseplay, is sometimes recording and re-recording and re-recording courses, because you almost get done and then smack, run into something. You end up having an issue with AI traffic. If you're going to use courseplay a lot, you might want to turn off traffic, especially with the dev version here. The dev version doesn't seem to pay attention to traffic. It also doesn't seem to pay attention to railroad crossings. So if the railroad crossing is down, well, it doesn't seem to pay attention to that, and the tractor is just going to run right into the railroad crossing. I'm sure they're going to work on getting that corrected. Slow down, make our loop. So, and then we're going to stop. Okay. Save this, and we're going to call this farm to shop loop. Okay. And what we're going to do to try it out is we're just basically going to set them off. So we're going to say stop at last point, our next trigger. We're going to activate that. Okay. Jump out. Let's see here. See, this guy is sitting here waiting on the train. For some reason the train is stopped. We're just going to have to sit there and wait for a little while. Let's go up here to the shop and wait on our truck. It won't take too terrible long. Truck to get up here. And you're going to see him loop around and totally stop at the wait point until we basically either intervene or, well, we have to intervene. I mean, he won't go anywhere until we intervene. But we can either stop the course or we can tell the driver to continue on, at which time he will just, well, continue on. All right, here he comes. This can be very useful for random other things that you find yourself needing to, drive around to a lot. Going in here and imagine we could do this with a tractor or anything else. Pickup has reached waiting point. Okay. At this point, we could either get in here and say stop and then do whatever we wanted to do, or we could hit continue. And he will now continue on back to the farm as we recorded him. Now, let's take a look at a refill point course. Okay. So I've got here a harvester, or a fertilizer spreader with just a little bit of fertilizer in it. And I've already recorded a fert refill course. Let's take a look at that. So the fert refill course is really, really simple. One of the most simple courses you're going to find. Can't get out. But basically what you see is we have a start point, and then we loop over here around this fertilizer refill point. Just got released into Mod Hub, and then come back here to the field. Okay, so we're going to turn that off. We're going to delete this because I recorded that when I was basically testing. And I've got here field 19 solid fertilizer. It's basically an up and a down pass because this field is so narrow. So what I'm going to do is, well, first let's get our pickup out of the way. Made it back. Now we've got a recorded loop we can use for pretty much anything we want. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this tractor to record a fertilizer refill loop. The way I like to do this is, first off, I look at the field, and basically I try to imagine, okay, this, if it was a larger field, I try to imagine what spot on the field is least cluttered, least apt to get the guy in trouble. Okay, and basically I'm going to say that's going to be right about here, kind of the middle of this end of the field. Okay, I'm going to basically hit start. Doesn't really matter what mode we are in, and I'm going to be very careful to drive down here, not to hit it, but to get close to it. So I'm driving through the trigger. I'm going to drive back to the field, and I'm going to stop. Okay, that's it. All we need to do. I'm going to save this as Vert refill. Oh, let's call this field 19. Solid Fert refill. Okay. Close that. We're going to go to here, field 19 solid fertilizer. We're going to load that course, and we're going to append refill course. See here at the bottom, it says 2 combined courses now. I'm going to line this up. We're going to send him off on the first waypoint, and we're just going to ride along. See how this works. Oh, wait. There we go. I have to turn that off because I'm technically on easy mode. You see we are down to 10, 0. When it is at 0, you can do this with seed, you can do this with lime, you can do this with solid or with liquid fertilizer. Anything that needs to be refilled, you can do this on. Now he's going to drive over here to the start of the second course. Going to drive the second course. He's going to come into the trigger and basically buy fertilizer. Now we are buying fertilizer because it says at the bottom, trigger reached, loading 1 of 1. So we just bought a heap load of fertilizer. I'm going to drive back to the field. Obviously their field is right here. But imagine if this field was all the way on the other side of the map. I'm going to drive back here. And then he's going to make his way back to the point where he ran out. And it's going to start and basically finish the rest of the field. We're going to hang out for this. We can do the exact same thing for seed. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and set that up also. Show you guys. Let's get our, figure out where our seed is. Seeder is over here. Might as well use the, oh, we might as well use the Fiat for something. There it is. The Puma 185 CVX has reached the trigger endpoint. Oh, great. So let's go ahead and clear him out of the way. turn these off while we are here. I don't need the helper buying things, but as you saw, you could tell the courseplay helper to just buy something so he doesn't run out. Put this over here because we're going to need to fertilize that later. Let's put down the seed refill. Down the seed tank. Put that down here. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to record a simple course. Once again, we're going to use the same spot because that seemed to work out pretty good. Start recording. Oh, all right. I accidentally made a mistake. Wasn't meaning to do that, but let me show you how to correct that. Let's pause it, and let's hit the trash can a few times. Look, see our waypoints are disappearing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to back up. It kind of line back up with our waypoints again. We're going to unpause it. And then we're going to do a little better job driving. So there's a big loop here. Stop. We're going to call this field 19 seeder refill. Okay. Then we're going to close the course. Go to seed and fertilizer. Course generation. I pick field 19. Generate course. Save that field 19. 3 meter. That. And then we're going to append field 19 seeder refill. See, this guy wants to start down here, so let's go ahead and play first waypoint and go. $16, $15, $14. Now, one thing I did notice when I was setting these things up is that for some reason, right now, I think Courseplay's got a little bug, big surprise, is that when the tractor would go to transition from one course to the next, right here, if I am not in the tractor seems to pause. I have to basically enter the tractor and then it will continue on again. That is a bug. That's not supposed to happen. I'm sure they'll get that figured out. And that's one of the reasons why we need to basically keep Courseplay up to date. Make sure that we get the latest version because they are fixing these types of issues pretty consistently. And as such, a bug that existed today might not exist tomorrow. See, it's identified a refill trigger. It's opened the lid. Buying seed. Bought seed. And now he's going to go back and seeding. Let's go up here. So train's still here. All right, the train is still here. What is the deal? I'll move the train out of the way. So I used the exact same methodology to set up the course that I'm using for the forage wagon there. Okay, I basically drove field 9. Be good enough. Yep. I drove from field 9 all the way back to the farm, drove through the unload trigger, made a loop, and drove all the way back to field 9. And basically I just appended the field 9 modified rake course and this course together. And basically that's all that's going on. So I think we've pretty much demonstrated that. We're not going to need to demonstrate that again with respect to fertilizing. I've got something else set up down here that I want to show you, and that is basically how to use courseplay to unload a harvester and take it down to the grain silo. Okay, so I've got a course already set up, field 18 to grain silo. Same type of thing. Okay, I started here, and I decided this was probably a good spot to start. Okay, I didn't think he would run into anything within the field area if I started here. So I started here. I drove all the way down to the farm, drove over the tip trigger for the silo, and drove back, and that's where I'm at right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to say start at next. Let's say start at nearest waypoint, and I have picked this mode right here. Let's get off. I have picked combi, empty, combine, and unload. Second one. When I do that, this combine in a little search class comes up. If I click that, it says automatic search. Never do automatic search. I have never had any luck with automatic search. Go to manual, and then find the combine you want. TX32. Okay, and we're going to basically say drive course. Stopping. And drive course. Okay. This proves to you that live demos don't always go to plan. Just. All right. And now nearest waypoint. Hopefully we're not. Okay. We are set, and this guy is basically waiting on the harvester now. So what we're going to do is we're going to set him off on a harvest course. I've got that, what is this called? Field 18, row crop harvest. Okay. And we will, first waypoint, drive course. Now we could drive this ourselves. We could hire a helper to do this. I'm just using courseplay just for fun's sake. And let's see, we've got a new button here. We have a combine controls button. I can do all kinds of things here. I can request the driver, and that will basically send a signal to the driver in the tractor there that I want to unload. And he will come over here, pull up along the pipe, I'll be able to unload into the pipe and then continue the harvest. Say driver priority is distance, fill level. Stop during unloading is deactivated, or I can activate that. So if it's deactivated, then basically the harvester and the trailer will continue on while they unload until either they are unloaded, until the harvester is unloaded, or they get to the end of the field. Headland reversing maneuver, straight or curve. Honestly, I don't know what that is. I'll be straight up with you. No idea what that is. If I ever figure it out, I'll be sure to tell you. Take a look here at some other things. Start at 50%. So, what this means, settings for combi mode. This will tell you, or this will set the AI that is in the tractor with the trailer. He will want to come and unload the harvester when the harvester gets to 50%. Okay, if we set this to 100%, then he's going to wait until the harvester is completely full before he comes. Not overly efficient from the standpoint that, you know, your harvester is sitting still. So I'm going to set it back to 50%. Drive on at 90% basically means that when the trailer reaches 90% of its fill level or greater, then it's just going to drive on to the unload point. That is what that means. So we could set this to 100% and say, no, you're not going anywhere until you are absolutely full. But the default is at 90%. So we're just going to leave it at 90%. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just fast forward time a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of a time lapse just to speed this all up. And what you're going to see is you're going to see when the harvester reaches about 50%, you're going to see the tractor there basically drive up to it and basically empty the harvester. Tractor then is going to back up out of the way, and the harvester is going to sit and wait until the tractor is completely backed up and is completely out of the way and has stopped moving. And then once she's stopped moving, the harvester will continue on. And then once that happens, I'm going to do a cut. And then I'm going to come back basically when he's being emptied again. And at that point, the trailer should be full. And then we'll follow this guy back to the farm and unload in the silo. At least that's how it is supposed to work. Okay? Let's get on with that, and then that'll be it. Alright, so you can see, as I mentioned, now that we are, 1, the pipe is out of the crop, 2, we are over 50%, the tractor is pulling up along the harvester. The harvester has detected that the tractor is there, so he's opening up the pipe. Then we are unloading into the trailer. Now the tractor could probably be another meter or so off to the side, so it doesn't look so silly. We are now unloading. But we're not going to be fully unloaded by the time we get to the end of the field, so we're going to stop. We're going to finish unloading. You can ignore the slipping message. That is, courseplay is just holding the harvester there. And now the tractor is backing up out of the way, so that he has plenty of room for the harvester to turn around. And the harvester will take off again once the tractor is done moving. Now, occasionally in 17, I ran into the issue where the harvester would kind of get stuck even after the tractor with the trailer or tipper would stop moving. And basically, I just have to go in. I'd basically have to stop the course on the tractor. The harvester would take off again, and then I'd just start the course back up, and everything would be good. So once again, we're going to do a little bit of a time lapse / edit, and then when we come back, you'll be unloading again. And then that should fill up. That should fill up this tractor. Let's see, we are at. This thing holds. I think this thing holds 8,000 in that configuration, so we are just over halfway. So we should see, like we are now, we've got the tractor. It's going to be making a loop to intercept the harvester here. We are over our 50% threshold that we configured. And once again, the tractor is going to unload the harvester. Except this time around, the trailer should be full. And at that point, we should see the tractor drive over to the start of the second point, the second course, and then basically unload at the farm. There's another way you can do this, is you could have an overloader, an auger wagon, that would unload to a truck that was positioned alongside the road, and then the truck, when it's full, would drive to a silo or the sell point. Let's just get out and hop in this one. We'll see that this one is now at 80,000. It's going to drive down here, like I said, to the start of the next point. Harvester should have just driven off and basically, continue to do his thing. The reason you want to put these start and end points on these added courses kind of out of the way, maybe at the corner of a field, somewhere where the AI driver isn't going to he's going to take a straight line course to that start point from wherever he ends up needing to go to that course at. So, if you're on an odd-shaped field, he may beeline straight across the river, may beeline into a tree. So you kind of want to look at the fields, and try to figure out a good start point for that second course. See the lines because we've got all the dots showing. You should slow down, and we should see at the bottom a message says tip trigger reached. There, tip trigger reached. Stop. He's going to unload, and then he's going to go back to the field and start it all over again. Wait on the he's going to basically go back to the stop point of this course and basically wait for the harvester. So guys, let me know in the comments what you think of this video. Has it been helpful to see kind of these refill and unload courses? And until next time, happy farming.